Alrighty guys, I am back with another Dokkan battle video. So this time we will be taking a look at the global first Giant Ape EZA and see how difficult it is to beat stage 30 of the event, which can give you all of those Dragon Stones, Kais, Orbs, Awakening Medals, all of that good stuff. I am a little bit late to covering this because it did drop a lot earlier than I expected. I thought it was going to drop later tonight, but it ended up dropping earlier when I was sleeping, so I only got around to doing it now, so I apologize for that. But let's get into the EZA. So, taking a look at the category and type advantages, you will have to end up facing all three of the units that do EZA in this event, starting off with the Kid Goku, and then it shifts over to Raditz, and then lastly it goes over to Vegeta. So that means your type advantages will shift depending on who you're facing. Against the Kid Goku, Super and Extreme STR types have the advantage. Vegeta is weak to Super and Extreme TEQ, and then Raditz, you want to use Super and Extreme AGL. And honestly, that doesn't really matter all too much. What mainly matters is using the correct category and have category advantage, and Giant Ape category characters have the category advantage in this EZA. So that makes it real simple to build a team that can wipe through this EZA extremely fast. That is, of course, Giant Ape Power, and because of that, you will want a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta friend leader at the very least. And because of that, if you do have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, please make sure to set it as your friend leader, at least for the day or two. It is the best to do the EZA now, when everybody has Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as their friend leader. As you can see, this is my friends list, and normally I don't see this many Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas, at least at rank 566. So if you want to get the EZA done quickly and have less trouble with it, especially if you may not have the best team, or you don't have the best units, then you want to do it now, more than later. If you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Int one, as your leader, if you don't have them as a unit at all, you can always bring this Gohan from Super Battle Road. Even when he's not EZA'd, he's a decent leader. Keep all types key +3 and 77% to stats. That's not too bad. If you do have him EZA'd, it's way better, but he could be a serviceable leader if you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And then, as you can see, this is the team that I am bringing. You know, you have some great options, like if you don't have the EZA Super Saiyan 4s, you can always bring the 4th anniversary LR Super Saiyan 4s. If you don't have the Super Dragon Ball Heroes units, you can always bring GT Goku and Vegeta, and then fill it with, like, this EZA Bardock, or, you know, any of these other units. I don't really have the weaker options for Giant Ape Power usable, like Awakened and Built and everything like that, but you do have some options, and some of those options were available really recently. So with that all being said, let's hop right into things. So I already cleared most of the EZA because at least the first 25 levels are extremely easy. It's only the last 4 or 5 levels that actually have a decent difficulty spike, so you don't really have much to worry about in that regard. It shouldn't be too difficult, even if you don't have a full, good roster of units. If you don't have the, the jacked and cracked lineup of Giant Ape category units, you should be able to get by just fine. Especially if you have a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta leader, as well as a friend leader, because both of them will have, super effective against all types for 7 turns, I believe, that in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has for a passive, which means whether he's up against the Kid Goku, who's physical type, or AGL Vegeta, who's AGL and he's neutral against, or he has category disadvantage against Goku, he will be doing the same damage, and it will be good damage. So he'll be able to easily wipe out EZAs, or levels of this EZA rather, with ease, and you shouldn't ever see his passive run out. Even at the later stages, honestly, I can't see you running out of his super effective against all types. Let me actually check. How long does his super effect? I think it's 7 turns, right? And attacks effective against all types for 8 turns, so that's even more than I thought. You have 8 turns of super effective against all types, which means, or effective against all types, which means that, EZA should last only about 4 turns at most, even at the later levels. Once again, even if you do not have the strongest roster of units and you have to take something like a free-to-play Giant Ape Bardock or the free-to-play Giant Ape GT Vegeta or something along those lines, you should still be able to clear it within 5 to 6 turns. You will not see Gogeta's super effective against all types runouts. At least you shouldn't. And you know, there are just a whole bunch of good Giant Ape Power category units. You know, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes units, yeah, I probably shouldn't be using them since most people probably don't have them, because honestly, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes units might be more rare to see than, like, you know, Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs, or not Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs, but summonable LRs rather, where the Super Dragon Ball Heroes banner only comes once a year, and the only time you could have gotten Super Saiyan 4 Vegito or the Super Saiyan 4 Broly that I'm using on this team was last year during that banner. And if you don't get them, then that means that they're only available as unfeatured units in the next year's Super Dragon Ball Heroes banner. So honestly, you know, you don't have to use Super Dragon Ball Heroes units, especially if you don't have them. There's so many good replaceable units, but they really do help. You know, I knew that it was going to be good to summon on that Super Dragon Ball Heroes banner last year if you were planning on summoning for the in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta for that very reason, because they're both Giant Ape Power category units, and or they're all Giant Ape category units, so they all fall under Gogeta's leader skill. Here we are on the final wave here. I'm actually going to take a 55% Gogeta just to sort of handicap myself a tiny bit, just so you can see how easy it is. You know, even if you were using the LR Super Saiyan 4s and not the EZA Super Saiyan 4s, you would see a very little decrease in the actual speed and performance of the team. I mean, the EZA Super Saiyan 4s I do think are better than the Dokkan Fest's 4th anniversary LRs. But the Dokkan Fest 4th anniversary Super Saiyan 4s are still really good. They've aged very well, especially the Goku. And considering on how many banners they were available last year and even earlier this year, I don't see any reason why people wouldn't have at least one copy of them each at 55%. Maybe some of you new players don't, but for the most part, I think most people will have the LR Super Saiyan 4s, at least at one dupe. Not at one dupe, I mean at free dupe at 55%. But we're wiping through this EZA with absolute ease. Vegito, rather, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito doesn't have the best damage in the world, but he does have raising defense for 1 turn. He has a chance to counter. You know, he's just a good all-around unit. He's supporting Giant Ape category as well. So he's just here mainly for Broly in case the two of them end up on a rotation together. And that's how I generally run my teams. I don't usually build with a whole bunch of support. I usually just build maybe with 1 support to float, 2 at the most to float, and then just have units that are good on rotation with each other, and have my rotation set up. Like, I want this rotation, I want this rotation, and then depending on what rotations get set up immediately or quicker, those are the rotations I'm going to be running with, and then I'm just going to float the other units regardless if they're good on rotation together or not. There you go, though. It's so easy. This one was a cakewalk. Although, to be fair, the units that come from this EZA, I don't think are worth the investment for the rewards. I'm actually going to go to level 31 just to show you that farming this for Zeni is going to be very easy as well. But talking about the units really quickly, I don't have any of them even Dokkan Awakened or SA10'd or anything like that, so I don't have them ready to EZA. And truth be told, you probably will not be seeing an EZA showcase of any of them from me, mainly because I just don't think they're worth putting in the resources. I don't think they're worth the Kais, and since they don't have free farmable super attack, you know, fodder from story events or any free-to-play event, That means you're gonna have to use Kais if you want to raise their super attack level. I don't think they're worth the hidden potential orbs either. You know, so doing the EZA is really beneficial because you do get Kais, you get orbs, you get Dragon Stones. You should be doing the EZA. But when it comes to actually using the Awakening Medals, I don't know about that one. You most likely will not see me doing a showcase for any of the Super Saiyan 4, or not the Super Saiyan 4, but the Giant Ape Global First EZAs, mainly because I just think that they're fodder. We wiped that level out really quickly, so let's do a couple more. I might as well do one or two more just to show you, this will be a great EZA to farm for Zeni. But as I was saying, Goku, the Kid Goku EZA is probably going to be the best of the bunch because he's an attack and defense stacker. But, for things like Giant Ape Extreme Super Battle Road, which is currently on JP only at the moment, it's just like, he'd be a good filler unit at best. Simple as that. If you don't have any other giant form category units, then he'd be a good filler unit. He does stack attack and defense, although in Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, stacking attack and defense is sort of too slow. You need a stronger effect than that. And his turn 1 defense is pretty abysmal, I'd imagine, even EZA'd. So, you're going to need to super attack at least 3 or 4 times, maybe, to be able to get acceptable defense to where he can take... Maybe he won't even take double digits after 3 or 4 super attacks. Maybe he'll just be taking 10k instead of 40k or something like that. But I think he'll be the best of them all in terms of the longevity of his usage because, of course, stackers are always going to be good for Legendary Goku event, GT Legendary Goku event, things of that nature, Legendary Vegeta event. Until they make an event that breaks defense stacks, he's going to be usable. But then looking at the Raditz and the Vegeta, they may do 5 million attack stats at link level 10 with all their links active, or at least with big bad bosses in the case of Vegeta, and most of his strong links active and support on rotation. He may look decent, maybe he'll have 200k defense with a 4 million, 5 million attack stat, but that's unreasonable. When people stack teams for showcases, that just shows you that the unit needs that much help to look acceptable, or at least decent. Even if it looks fairly good, if it has so much support on rotation, then it really fights against the purpose, because in a real case scenario when you're playing the game, you're not actually going to have that much support, are you? You're not actually going to have like 5 support units on your team or something like that, just for that one unit. So I don't know. These Super Saiyan, or these, not Super Saiyan 4 EZAs, these Giant Ape EZAs, the global first ones, they're just so underwhelming. And compared to JP, who just got the Super Saiyan 2 Physical Kefla EZA, that EZA is way better. Granted, I know that this is like a Tier 2 EZA, like, that's way better EZA Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, but, these EZAs, while global first, don't actually change all too much when it comes to the meta. They're not breaking into the top 10, hell, not even top 20 EZA TURs, at least in my opinion. So, overall, do the EZA. It's great rewards, it's fast rewards, and it's definitely worth it, but I would say don't bother using the Kais and Orbs unless you have them already Dokkan Awakened at Super Attack level 10, in which case, yeah, go ahead, feed in those 5 Kais. You'll have some decent options if you don't have a good Giant Form team or anything like that. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. Very easy EZA. And until next time, I will see you guys later.